You don't need confidence to get started. Just going to start off with a quote by Zig Ziglar. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. Getting started is what it's all about. I'm Amy Colombo. You know how like in midlife, you feel that call for more and you're just sick and tired of like the performing and the pleasing and the putting everybody else ahead of yourself, but you're struggling in so many ways to do that. Well, I am a confidence coach, a nurse coach, and a single mother to 3 boys, and I help women through that time. I help women step into that more that they're feeling called for through a transformative process of self-mastery so that they can get out of their own way and start building that confidence, courage, and emotional freedom in their lives. My intention with this is really for you to walk away and know that you can start. You can start right here, right now, today. You don't need confidence. You don't need to know every single step of the way. All of the things that you're holding yourself back from starting, believing that you need, confidence being the main one, you actually don't. And I feel so passionate about this because I actually live this way. And I coach my clients in this way. And we are doing amazing things and like having amazing impact out there. And I know that the majority of you that are here watching are aspiring entrepreneurs. I'm just going to share a little bit of my story. 4 years ago, back in 2021, January 2020, I stepped out of school, coaching school, and started my coaching practice. And I had this like excitement and zest. I had no fucking clue how I was going to start a business being a nurse for 48 now. So what? I was 44, being a nurse into, midlife for 23 years at that point. I had no idea how I would start a business. And believe it or not, I always looked at business owners like, who the fuck wants to deal with that shit? Because my husband, my ex-husband, had started a restaurant when we were very young. We were in our 20s. And I remember he started it and I was a nurse and our kids were young. And we ended up divorced soon after that. Like it put a real strain on the home. So I had this idea like, I don't want any part of a business. So when I stepped into coaching and was like, I actually had this epiphany, like I want to do my own thing. I've always kind of danced to the beat of my own drum and I want to do my own thing and I don't want to boss anymore. It was kind of like this crazy idea in my head. And I just knew I was going to do it. I had no fucking idea how, but I had faith and trust in a few things. My ability to figure it out, number one, that I was not going to fucking do this shit alone. Number two, and I hired a coach straight out the gate, like figured it out, got a credit card, put it on there. Because when you're starting a business, when you're starting something new, the idea that you're not going to invest time, energy, and money is a lie. So get that out of your head, sweep that out. Time, mostly time and energy, not so much money, is involved in this process. But if you're really holding yourself back because you don't want to invest resources in it, then that's the first thing that you could just kick to the curb. My willingness to do hard things, that scared me. And I really looked back on what I had been through up until then. And I was like, I've been through some shit. I had a big healing journey. I had healed my childhood trauma. And that to me felt like this mountain. And I was like, if I could do that, if I could survive my childhood, if I could heal my childhood, I could probably start a business. And again, I'm never alone and I can ask for help. So it's not easy being an entrepreneur, and it still isn't even 4 years later, but it's possible and it's happening and it's working for me and my clients. And maybe you're stepping into a season of change and it's not easy. Maybe you're starting a business. Maybe you're shifting careers at any age or any stage. Maybe you're prioritizing yourself and letting go of perfection, performing, pleasing. These are not easy. Maybe you're dealing with a sudden loss Maybe it's a loss of like something turned out the way you didn't expect. And I call that an expectation hangover, when things just don't turn out the way we want them to. You know, maybe you're approaching that midlife age and you haven't found your person yet and you want to have kids. Maybe you're coming into a transition like retirement and it's just knocking you for a loop and you weren't expecting it. Whatever the deal is in our life, we're constantly moving in and out of transitions that feel like a struggle and feel new. So whatever it is, just know that all of your feelings, every one of your feelings of fear and angst and anxiety and like doubt, they're all valid and they all make sense. And learning how to support them and you through this time can move you forward and not keep you stuck or hold you back any longer. I'm telling you, the thing that's holding you back, as much as you think it's this thing, it's this person, it's the money, it's the time, it's the this, it's your thoughts and feelings. It's your thoughts and feelings. It's your own fucking thoughts and feelings. That's what's holding you back. And when you learn how to regulate, and how to support these feelings, because spoiler alert, they're not going away. We need them. We need them to survive. We need our fear. We need our doubt. We need everything that you don't like that's going on inside your body. We need it. So we need to learn how to be the leader inside ourselves and how to support those parts of ourselves in a way that allows you to move forward with them, not be held back by them, not let them make the decisions, and certainly not just like ignore them and pretend they don't exist. So these are the 4 key concepts that have worked and are still working, and none of them involve confidence. Number 1, in how to get started with 0 confidence. So that's the first key, getting started, taking action with no confidence. Number 2, making difficult decisions with commitment. Commitment is more important than anything. Number 3, how to get unstuck and move forward with courage. And what does that mean? You're taking the action without the confidence, without knowing how it's going to turn out, and it doesn't feel good. Courage, we don't feel brave or courageous. We're like, oh, that was brave, right? Like a fireman running into a burning building. He didn't like that. He didn't love that, but he's doing what he believes is his job, and that's bravery. He's doing it scared. How to be consistently inconsistent, and that is my favorite because that is my own personal piece that I have brought in and that has worked for me. And I bet you it's worked for you and you don't even realize. So how to get started with 0 confidence. Confidence is created over time. And what needs to come first is commitment, courage, and competence in order to be confident in that thing. So confidence is the end result. And what comes right before it is competence. Competence means I've practiced it over and over and over again, and I just feel confident, which the feeling of confidence actually hormonally is a lowering of cortisol, the stress hormone, and a spike in testosterone. That's what it is. And that's that feeling that we all want, that feeling of confidence. But what precedes it is competence over and over and over again. And what precedes that is commitment, making decisions. Almost every single woman that comes to me for confidence as a confidence coach, when I ask her what specifically she wants more confidence in, almost everyone says in their decision making. And that makes sense because everything is a decision. Your decisions are creating your life at the end of the day. And what would it be like to be able to make quicker decisions, more sturdy decisions? And instead of waiting around for confidence, instead of waiting around for clarity, commitment, making the decision equals the clarity. So that is the order of confidence. Confidence, competence, commitment, courage, doing it and it not feeling good. We went over that. That's going to be necessary because it's the action forward. It's the action forward and the willingness, being willing to fail and feel really uncomfortable things. I still remember my first live. I still remember it. I will never forget it because it was so significant. I was in coaching school. I had just gotten done with a pro bono client and I had this, like I was seeing everybody and what they were doing. And I was like, I want to do that. I want to do that. I recorded myself. It was like a 10-minute spiel. I recorded myself 3 times was completely dysregulated and hit the live button finally. And I went live, and I'll never forget it because I had like 80 friends on Facebook before then. I wasn't a social media person at all. And so many people came onto it and even like called me, like my friends, they were like, you went live? Like people were shocked. They were like, I thought something was wrong, like maybe butt dialed your phone. Like I literally got those phone calls because I had never barely even posted. And I was always deleting friends. Like I wanted like the least amount of people to see my life. So anyway, I went live and I was inspired by a pro bono client. And I remember she was having difficulty saying no. And I went live and I could still probably find it. It's still on my feed somewhere back in 2021. And I remember I was dysregulated the entire day from that. Dysregulated the entire day because it just had such a cortisol surge. But I flippin' did it. And here I am 4 years later, still doing it. And I would say the anxiety in my body right now in this moment is probably like a 2. I've never been able to fully eradicate anxiety when I'm speaking, but I'm way more comfortable. I'm way more confident because I'm competent. I've done it so many times. And again, being committed and being courageous and being willing to do it imperfectly, with all these filler words and stuff, no matter how much I try to clean up my speaking, whenever I hear it back, it never is perfect. My first proposal, oh my gosh, my first sales call, I coached him for like an hour and 15 minutes because I didn't know how to do a sales call. So I coached him, which you're not supposed to do. But anyway, coached him for an hour and 15 minutes, proposed for him to work with me. The call went on for 2 hours. He was my first yes. I had no idea how to do a sales call. Someone had given me like a small outline, but I remember how I felt dysregulated, very, very anxious. I've done so much work on that personally. I'm actually realizing that in this moment as I'm sharing how much work I've done on my regulation skills. But back then, I didn't have what I have now as far as regulating my emotions and my nervous system. So I was just dysregulated the whole day. These are things, this is what courage feels like. It's going to dysregulate you, but you have tools to help yourself. So just think, what's one tiny step you can take this week, even if it scares you, So I'm going to get into step 1, how to make difficult decisions with commitment. Decisions. You need to decide what you're going to do. And what is it you're deciding? Make the decision. The decision equals the clarity, not the other way around. So a lot of people are waiting around for confidence. They're waiting around for clarity. The truth is, you decide your clarity. With everything that you are in the moment, you're going to make the best decision that you can. Then decide you're worth the work involved to face what's in the way. Because when you make the decision to go after a goal, to accomplish something, what you're really saying to yourself and to the universe is that I'm willing to do the work to achieve this goal. And what that work entails is busting through all the blocks and obstacles and trauma and old stories and shit that are in the way. And that could be a bigger, messier cleanup job than you think, but you're willing. So that's what you're committed to. So when you're committed to starting a business, you're committing to, I need to be seen and heard. A business is, a part of the community that helps the community. You're helping people. You can't help anyone if you're unwilling to be seen or heard. So working through whatever's in the way of that is going to be what you're committed to. Being willing to fail, fall, look stupid, feel embarrassed, do it wrong, not get the outcome you desire is the key to moving forward. The thing that's holding you back, I'm afraid of failure. Okay, well, the moment you're willing to fail is the moment you'll move forward. So ask yourself, what am I most afraid of? And whatever that answer is, say, how can I be willing for that? And the way I like to think of it and how I coach clients is, what would you feel? What would you feel if someone said something negative, if someone left a negative comment, if someone didn't agree with your post, if you failed? I set a launch to set out to call in these 5 women and they don't come in. A lot of times the answer is embarrassed. I'd feel embarrassed. I'd feel stupid. I'd feel small. That's what you're afraid of. Are you willing? Are you willing to feel embarrassed? Are you willing to feel small and stupid going after your dreams? Because guess what? We're feeling this way in our lives anyway, not going after our dreams. This is you being willing to feel that because your dreams, because your goals, because your vision, because your decision and your commitment to what you want is important to you. And that's a big question. Is it important to you? And you want to ask yourself, would I rather try and fail or not try at all? Would I rather try and fail and not try at all? Answer the question. There's no right and wrong. Answer it honestly. There's no right and wrong. And being willing to accept a worst case scenario, a best case scenario, and everything in between, because we don't know. We can't like gamble on outcomes. Plan for accountability, planning for accountability, just knowing like, how can you stay accountable and who are those people that can help you? A coach, of course, huge part of getting a coach is keeping you accountable, but maybe you want to tell someone your dream. Not everybody, because not everyone's going to support it, but who do you want to tell to keep you accountable? Commitment equals clarity, not clarity equals commitment. Commitment equals clarity. So commitment is really being decisive and deciding who you are, who you want to be, what you want to go after, and being willing to kind of like go back and forth. This is failing our way forward and being committed. So again, if you're waiting around for clarity, if you're waiting around for commitment, just know, ask yourself, what is my one next step in alignment in the direction I want to go? And as you start taking action, the clarity will start to reveal itself. So that's commitment. Right now, just ask yourself, what's a promise you're willing to make to yourself? Say it out loud. What action steps solidify your commitment? What's one promise you're willing to make to yourself? Say it out loud. What action step solidifies your commitment? So always taking an action step in that direction. Like I did when I got serious about starting a business, I took a full weekend to look at my numbers, to minimize my budget, to get my overhead in my house as a single mother as low as I possibly could, so that I knew the number. I knew the exact number I needed to bring in the business to be able to go part-time, to be able to go per diem, to be able to let it go. Those are action steps. So when I'm committed, what's the next action step? It's this, it's this, it's this, it's this. It's not 100 at the same time. It's one little thing. Number 2, get unstuck and move forward with courage. Courage is huge here. Forget confidence. Decide to be brave. Decide to be courageous. You've been courageous before. You've done brave things before. If you had to run in the middle of the street to save your child, you would. You would even say, I had no choice. You actually did. You chose to be brave and courageous, like those instincts just came out. But now you're choosing a life of courage. So what you're stuck in needs your love. It needs your help. It needs your support, your fear, your overwhelm, your doubt, your critic. What is it? What is it that's holding you back, that you're letting drive the car, that you're letting make the decisions? Is it the fear? Is it the overwhelm? Is it the doubt? Is it the fear of failure? And now, what does that need? What does it need? Only you can give it. Only you can get it. You either have the resources inside you right now to provide, or you have the voice and you have the hands and the feet and the wherewithal to go get the support and help that you need. There's no problem that doesn't have a solution in this world. There's no problem that doesn't have a book out there that you can read, podcast, a mentor. There's someone that has been through what you are about to go through and has solved the problem and done it before. So decide what you need, give it to yourself, and go get the help. Asking for help is such a big thing for my clients. That's another thing. Every woman struggles to ask for help. We have been indoctrinated to be these hyper independent women. No one takes care of us. We take care of everybody else. We need to let that go. We need to realize that we are wired biologically. We are social beings. We need each other. It's a fact. We do need others. This is why we're becoming coaches, because we want to help people. And we want to use those talents, those gifts, making it a mission, making it a purpose so that we can help others. And if people are not willing to go get some help, then where would we all be? Don't fry your nervous system. Being courageous. Don't fry your nervous system. Pick an action step on the edge of your comfort zone and ride that edge. So I always do this thing like the comfort zone is this, it's a circle, right? That's your comfort zone. And staying stuck in fear is being right in your comfort zone. You're very comfortable there. It's familiar. You want to ride your edge. So when you do action steps, you want to pick action steps that are right out here. So if you've never posted before, like honestly, me going live when I barely ever posted, that fried my nervous system for the entire day. But I was willing. I was willing to try it out and it got better. But I wouldn't recommend that you fry your nervous system for an entire day. Be willing to be dysregulated for a little while and then use a tool to get back. But maybe you make a post with a picture of you. Maybe that's your next step. Maybe your next step is a recorded video, like a short one with a little description. Whatever your next level is, do that. The one that's going to make you feel slightly uncomfortable, but not fry your nervous system. Okay, mini courage assignment. What's one small thing you can do today that feels brave? And reinforce that you don't need to feel brave. You just choose to be brave. It's a skill. It's an action. What would be the brave action? How can you take this fear with you on the ride? What does that fear need to hear? Tell it, give it, calm it, use your tools, and being consistently inconsistent for success. I love this one. Okay. So many of my clients want more consistency. And when you step forward on this journey of becoming the coach, it's going to feel so messy. And it is. It's very messy. And it looks different for everybody because you're just doing one action step at a time. And it takes time for things for there to be this like sort of like a snowball effect where people start to know, like, and trust you over time. You're building a business, you're building a reputation for yourself. So it's slower than you think and it's messier than you think. And you're going to always think, I need to be more organized. I need to be more consistent. And that is true. But I want to tell you, if you haven't quit, this pillar of being consistently inconsistent is congruent with not quitting. If you haven't quit on yourself, if you're still in it, then this is being consistently inconsistent. This is what we call failing our way forward. And I see clients doing all sorts of things, trying things, they're not working, letting go of the job, then getting a different job. The work is on their own thoughts and their own emotions and their own judgments of what they're making that mean. But if they're committed, courageous, and being consistently inconsistent, not quitting, they're still not quitting. I have a client, she came out of Confidence Through Emotional Mastery back in January. She ended. And she wanted to come into a one-to-one container, but then she said, no, I'm just going to try it on my own. And she's been doing it on her own. She just came to me after about 6 months, and now she wants my support. And she's been consistently inconsistent. And she's judging the heck out of herself and feeling like she failed. You haven't quit on yourself. You haven't produced the outcomes that you wanted. You're holding yourself back from doing these action steps that you know you should be taking in order to create clients. But she hasn't quit. Like, she's still in it. And she came and she asked for help. And every day that you don't do something, the next day is a new day and a new opportunity. And becoming more resilient in this process of moving forward, taking action, not taking action, it being messy, the launch not going the way you expected, moving the date. Like, I just think of this. I was thinking of this before I came on, because at this point, I do feel like in this moment, I'm stepping into some confidence because I'm on my 9th launch of a group. I'm on my 9th launch. I've done it 8 times. And I've been through the roller coaster of what that's like. And on this launch, I'm feeling more confident than I've ever felt. because of that competence and experience, because they've been committed and courageous along the way. But let me tell you, there have been moments of, I'm talking serious failure recovery, as I call it. I mean, I failed hard and crashed hard and like had to just rest and not output for some time and then get back on the horse when I'm ready. A week later, a couple of weeks later, that's like a real harsh failure recovery. But for the most part, these things are going to wipe you out for about a day, maybe 2 days. That's it. When you start to get to really know yourself and your nervous system, and you start to practice commitment and courage, not be focused on feeling confident, when you start to do this, you start to get to know how your system thinks. And you start to get to know, you get competent, which brings competence in, oh, yeah, this happens. I feel like crap. I'm going to rest for the night. And I'm most likely going to be fine in the morning. And then the morning comes and you're like, oh, I'm fine. Or, oh, I'm not fine. I need another like day or half a day. This is how it is. So commitment, courage brings competence, and then brings confidence. You don't need confidence before you start. Confidence grows while you move forward and go. Commit to your decisions. Move forward with courage, even when you're afraid, because that's what courage feels like, being afraid. Stay consistently inconsistent. Do what you can, when you can, and keep going. I hope you're all still with me. I know your struggles. I've been there. I'm human, and my clients are human, and we're all doing this thing called life to the best of our ability. And we were not meant to do it alone. And some of you are under the impression that you have to. And I told you that's not true. You are worth the time, the energy, and the money to get the support that you want, that you need, that you're worthy of to make your dreams happen, because only you can decide that for yourself, nobody else. A lot of you are wanting to start a business, switch careers. You're healers. Your mission is to help others, and you have a lifetime of knowledge and God-given talents, and giving to others compassion and empathy. You've got all those skills and you want to be fulfilled. You want to be fulfilled by it. And that's an amazing thing. I think the world would be a better place if everybody was operating from that place of, I'm doing what I love and I'm passionate about it and I'm helping people with the skills and talents that God has given me. And some of you are navigating a difficult time in your life. The midlife call for more, retirement, empty nesting, not being where you want to be in love or in life. And problems don't go away just by ignoring them and hoping for the best. And you probably know this already. Intentional action is everything and is needed. And I'm here to tell you that you don't have to do this alone. And I wouldn't recommend that you do, because we were all created to help each other. And I was created to help women know that they're the heroes in their own story. And I fucking love what I do. And I would love nothing more than to be by your side in helping you with these 4 things: feeling more confident and believing in yourself. When this happens, and I have helped many, many women get here, you start showing up with the courage and bravery. You stop silencing yourself when it's time to speak up, and you stay silent when it's not time to speak up. There's a time for everything and a place. And you get results, better results in every single area of your life when you start showing up with more confidence and belief in yourself. Number 2, this is vital. This is what you need to move forward with courage: being your own calm in your own emotional storm and triggers. Because best believe, if I could guarantee you one thing on this journey forward, you're going to get triggered, you're going to feel dysregulated, you're going to feel fear and doubt and all the things. And we're not going to cure them. They're not just going to eradicate and go away. So learning how to relate to them differently and giving them exactly what they need is going to change everything. Getting you unstuck and moving forward when it's hard. I can't tell you how many women I've helped to get unstuck and move them forward because they're no longer afraid of what other people think. And maybe I shouldn't say they're no longer afraid. They still are. They're just willing. They're willing. Now, all of a sudden, you're willing for someone to say something to you because you know that the worst that's going to happen is you're going to feel a feeling. And most likely, nothing is going to happen. But it's not that you're no longer afraid. You're just moving with the fear, with the courage. Because let's be honest, we all care what other people say and think about us. And I will just share, I had like a personal experience in the DMs where someone called me icky, and I was freaking wiped out, triggered, and failure recovery. That was one of my worst failure recoveries that sent me in a tailspin. That's our biggest fear as coaches, to be called icky, but it's like it's like the best thing that ever happened to me now. I'm like, oh my God, like someone called me icky. Like nothing worse than that could possibly happen. I survived it. And yeah, it wipes me out, but you can handle more than you think. Healing deep emotional wounds from your painful past. And this is how, when I work with you, it's different. Every coach has their own modalities, and every modality is valuable, whether it's transactional, transformational, or deep healing and therapeutic, embodiment and changing your being. And this is where it's at. And this is why my container is different, because we go deep. And a lot of the women that come in and work with me, their systems are ready and willing to go to that deeper place. Because sometimes when we're stepping forward and moving forward and creating a new story, there could be a really old story lodged in our body and kind of sneakily undermining us. And I know how to take you there to the root of that issue and release it so that we can implant the new story and you can move forward. How do we get you these amazing results that you're looking for? Now in my group confidence coaching space entitled Confidence Through Self-Mastery. I've been going 4 years strong now, and this is its 9th round. And these are the results. The results that I spoke to are the actual results from my clients. I get feedback. I give a shit. I care. I care about you. I want to bring you to the place that you want to get to in the quickest amount of time, the simplest way. So I'm always getting feedback and I'm always changing things. I'm not perfect, but I aim to be, knowing that perfection is not attainable. I still strive for it. So I really care. And those are the 4 biggest results that clients speak to because they've done the data over the years. So this is a 12-week group program. It starts July 17 to October 2nd. It's a small group, 7 to 10 women. I keep it small because you get individualized attention from me throughout. We have the group sessions at about an hour and a half on Thursday nights at 6 p.m., a time that works for everyone, all time zones in the US. I already know that this is probably a free time for you. And if it's not, that you can make it work. You have lifetime access to all the resources and the program itself. And you stay connected with your peers the entire time in a private chat space where you're encouraged to give and receive support. A bonus, you get me 24/7. So you may need your coach at 1 a.m. on a weekend at some weird hour, and you've got me in this chat space. I have boundaries. I will respond to you the next day. I will be sleeping at 1 a.m, but you get that in my group space. I want to call forward the most successful, confident, and brave version of you because she already exists. I know that she would thank you in this moment for getting the support that you really need to move forward with the confidence, commitment, the bravery that you know that you need to make this work. Because a hero's journey, going after your goals and your dreams, is not easy, but it's so worth it. You will feel so proud. You will grow tremendously. So to make it even better, if you book a call with me today, I opened up extra slots for today, tomorrow, and the first few days of next week. If you click this link and you book the call today, you'll get these 2 bonuses. The Complete Confidence Series program, $500, worth $500 lifetime access, and you will get bonus integration month. So the program is 3 months and it ends, and then I give you a bonus integration month because integration can be a little tricky. So I want to be there for you, and I'm going to give you an entire extra month of support in that chat space one-to-one, as well as in the group. And you will get those 2 bonuses. And as if that wasn't enough, if you go ahead and click that link right now, you who's watching this live and on the replay, right now, I'm going to give you another 2 bonuses. And those bonuses are 2 one-to-one spaces with me at a value of $1,000. And that's for whatever is the most stucky and the most sticky while you're in this program. We will work on it together in a one-to-one space. You get 2 of those, as well as $500 off the total price of this program. That is that. I hope this helped you. My intention was for you to move forward with courage, not confidence. You don't need it. Throw it out the window. As a matter of fact, you shouldn't be confident right now. All your fears and doubts make perfect sense. And I just want to love them. I just want to encourage them. I just want to tell the part of you that's so afraid, that doesn't think she's enough, that's doubting herself, you can do this. You are worth it. And by virtue of moving forward with courage, when it's scary, when it's unknown, when it's uncertain, you're going to become the highest version of yourself. You're going to show yourself what you're made of. You're going to be so darn proud of you. God, the universe, is going to align and get on your team when you start taking action and setting those intentions for yourself. I'm telling you, sometimes it feels magical because I'm just thinking it's like, woo, woo. And sometimes it feels like hell. But that's life, right? So why not live the life that you want and go after it because you're worth it? That's everything. Bye, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with me.